Sur Internet, là, une agence qui a fait déclarer Air France comme un mauvais traiteur de passagers.
الحملة الثانية. أنا كنت في السودان جيت امبارح. إن شاء الله. نيشان. يا سلام. South Africa. Uganda? Kenya. It's Kenya, of course. Yes, South Africa. Your Excellency, I believe refugee. Yes. Yeah. A little bit diabetic. Yeah, hello, sir. This one, the only youngest South Sudanese in town. That's a bit. And that's a good thing. Proceed? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ambassador, why did you join us?
Please. It's your home. That's fine. Please, please. Can you come in? Please, please. Sorry. I think we can stay around. Please, get in, please.
Sorry, it's a little bit. Yes, please.
Those who are upstairs?
I would like to welcome you to this short ceremony, which marks the inauguration of our embassy, the Embassy of the Republic of South Sudan to Ankara, Turkey. And the night of the visit of Minister Honorable Nial Daniel and the representative of the government, Her Excellency Ambassador Pat Digay, and His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Maluta, the Dean of African Groups, Excellencies, the Ambassadors, Judges, colleagues from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Turkey, you are most welcome to this gathering. To start our program, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Jan Gajaak, to welcome you officially to the Embassy of the Republic of South Sudan.
Colleagues, as my colleague has just said, this is supposed to be a very short getting together to open the embassies. I therefore like to thank in particular my minister for coming to grace this. But most importantly, you all know, each and every one of us who is a diplomat has a special attach to the kindness and the good treatment that we are getting from our colleagues from Foreign Affairs, especially Madam Deputy Under Secretary. We feel honored to be in Ankara, and all the facilitation that we've got, we feel made it possible today for us to be coming here. My colleagues, ambassadors, especially the Dean, showed us around the first day. Just visit his office and we'll tell you how this part of the world is. I am particularly grateful that this occasion took place today, because we feel as the youngest country in the world, we have to do it in a proper way. In other words, those people who are our neighbors, like our brother from Latvia, actually just opposite, opposite here, and those colleagues from Africa to be with us tonight. All of you will be joining us for the reception. But we thought that the kindness that you have been shown to us by our colleagues from Foreign Affairs for gracing us, by the way, not only that the whole of the African desk has come, but our colleague Ambassador Ahmed, who is our second citizen in South Sudan, graced with this occasion. We thank you all, and we hope that this time I'm going to make sure that I visit each and every one of you in your own embassy, so that we communicate with each other. Your Excellency, we thank you for this opportunity. I take it back to you, my colleague.
Thank you, Your Excellency Ambassador Yo. with this, I think I would like to invite His Excellency Dr. Malutan, the Dean of African Group, to give short remarks on behalf of African. Your Excellency, you're most welcome.
Excellency Minister, Excellency Firnur, the Undersecretary, Ambassadors, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Africa Group, I would like to express congratulations to the newly born Republic of South Sudan, who had this embassy officially opened. Excellency, we also would like to thank you for gracing the opening of the embassy in Ankara. Ankara is becoming big day by day. Big in the sense is creating a larger diplomatic community. It was less than 10 maybe 2 years ago, a year ago, but now we are exceeding 20 from Africa. And with your joining the Africa Group, I think that will add to the bond of friendship between Turkey and Africa. And we welcome you, South Africa, South Sudan. We also congratulate you, Republic of South Sudan, for having the embassy open here. And we share whatever experience we have in this great country, so for the benefit of Turkey and African nations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. With these few remarks, and then I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the representative of the government of the Republic of Turkey, and particularly the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And we are happy to be graced by her to this evening, a person who really, through her department, made us to be here for this evening to celebrate this small occasion. And with that, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Her Excellency Ambassador Pategel, the Deputy Undersecretary of African Affairs. You're most welcome to give you very much.
First of all, I would like to tell on behalf of my minister, my ministry, and from the African Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, how happy we are to see Your Excellency in this first official visit in Turkey, and on this occasion to assist to the opening ceremony of your embassy here. Personally, and as the Deputy Undersecretary in charge of Africa, I'm very happy to see every day, every month, to my African family growing in Ankara. So it's really a satisfaction. At the end of this year, Turkey will have 34 embassies in Africa, and we hope that in the middle or at the end of the next year, we will have the same number of African embassies in Ankara. So this shows how our, I think, a new link, our new friendship is shared by the two sides of the Mediterranean Sea, by African countries and Turkey. We congratulate you. We wish you very happy and fruitful working days in Ankara. And we thank you, Excellency, to be with us in this day. Turkey is one of the countries which would like to really join all the efforts for having peace, stability, and prosperity everywhere in Africa. And with this idea, we would like to increase our bilateral relations and cooperation with your country and all African countries. And we would like particularly the Horn of Africa, which is one of the most important, I think, strategic part of Africa in peace, in stability, prosperity. And we are ready to contribute, I think, to the development of your country, of the region, and of the continent. I would like to reiterate that we will be very happy to work with your embassy here in Ankara in the view to increase our cooperation and good relations. And once again, I would like to congratulate Your Excellency, my South Sudanese colleagues, and for the opening of this very beautiful embassy. Best wishes for all of them.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the wonderful and encouraging words. I must say, without your department, your directorate and department would have not been here today. But we are happy that you also witnessed with us this event. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, with this, I would like to call upon Honorable Minister Nial Denial, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of South Sudan, to give his remarks.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Undersecretary, senior Government of Turkey officials in attendance, members of the diplomatic corps. I'm delighted to be here among you today, to have been afforded this opportunity to get together with you. It is just an opportunity for me, on my own behalf and on behalf of my government, to express our gratitude to your governments and countries through you for the massive support that the Republic of South Sudan obtained soon after it achieved independence. Of course, Turkey is one of the countries that almost instantaneously recognized the Republic of Sudan for the celebration of its independence, and most of you did the same. We are very grateful. We are thankful for the outpouring of sympathy, expressions of solidarity, and there is a lot of goodwill that our fledgling state is going to be assisted to hopefully very soon in the near future be able to stand on its own feet. Of course, we are delighted that our mission here is part of your family here in Ankara. Their mission is to reach out to all your countries, especially to Turkey, to ensure that we are able to build a strong bilateral relationship in the interests of the well-being of the communities of the world, in the interest of peace, in the interest of stability. I think this is the common mission of us all as humanity. And so I think they are going to put their hands in your hands so that we can promote this noble objective. Last but not least, I have to register also a profound gratitude to the strenuous efforts that you have exerted to help this mission become a reality. Of course, the staff themselves spared no effort to ensure that we have this day today. Of course, the embassy has been in operation, but I think this is also an important symbolic kind of launch, and I'm delighted to be here. So again, we'd like to thank you. And I think what you have done to help us establish ourselves here in Ankara is a true reflection of the commitment of Turkey to Africa in particular. We know that your country attaches a high degree of importance to relations with Africa, and we have been following the commendable work that you have been doing in different parts, especially in the Horn of Africa, the way in which your country is assisting Somalia to stand up again. Of course, it's part and parcel of the IGAD region to which we belong, and therefore the security and stability of Somalia is of utmost importance to us. And so we appreciate the efforts that you are doing here, and the efforts that you are doing in the rest of Africa as well. And I think your country comes across as a true development partner that is interested in forging relations with the continent of Africa that are based on mutual benefit and respect for each other. So we thank you again for that opportunity, and we will be looking for even better things ahead. Thank you very much.
I think before we could take some refreshment, I'd just like to remind you that later on we'll have time at Hilton to interact a lot. Maybe after taking some refreshment, we can take a look in the office. The visa. Yeah.
I will try not to spill it. Please help yourself to some glasses if I'm not trying to read them. Yes, we have soft Kind of with one glass, please. I cannot reach. Thank
Hello, how are you?
kind of you.
I didn't take it myself. Thank you.
Please.
Everyone has, I hope everybody has got space around here.
Not yet. Open.
Almost.
No.
So may I propose a toast?
No, this one.
Be quiet, please. For the success of the envisaged objectives of the embassy and to the health of the Excellency and all of you around us, I propose a toast.
Yeah, when that's out,
We met several times. Yes, many times. Yeah, almost. I presented my credential on the 25th of October with the ambassador. He was just very late. And the ambassador of South Korea.
I can take
almost 1 week. Yeah.
So we can go up. We can go up.
It's the lucky one.
This is my office. MashaAllah.
Very nice, very nice.
Because a lot of women are waiting here.
That's why they need a good office.
Okay, that's
Yeah. And here is the information officer. This is the second secretary.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have one more here. The Gajaak region. From this. There is terrace out. Africa terrace. So that anytime they wanted to
Yeah.
You know, we were thinking of putting cattle, but they did say no, you don't put cattle.
No, you block the view.
Yeah. We have, you know, in fact, this is emissary of wheat. It's also demand. This side, we only have 2 embassies, Cairo and here. So as we cover so logically it has to be a bigger embassy.
Ceremony in Cuba.
I think from East Africa, you're our senior. Yeah, from East Africa. You're the dean. Where is come from, Ghana?
We don't have a copy of our production. Yeah, this is ours.
This is my guest list Botswana. Wow, these are the people who are in the evening. Thank you very much. Okay, we can get to the okay. No, that's what it
You know, of course it's starting in because for finance. I got to
So we will not. Yeah, so they have brought the war into the country. Fine. Ah, brother, how are you? I didn't see you today, but I saw you.
Balığı hangi oltaya alacaksınız bilemiyorsunuz. Kabona gidemiyorsunuz. Kabonaya fare dönüşmek. Başka turunuz dönüşmek. Böyle bir iş halinde oluyor. İsteyenler var.
and charges accredited to the Republic of Turkey, colleagues in the government of the Republic of Turkey, members of the private sector, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. For us to start our program, I would like to take this opportunity to call upon His Excellency Dr. Ambassador John Gajaak, the Ambassador of the Republic of South Sudan to Turkey, to welcome you officially to this function. Your Excellency, you're most welcome.
Honorable Minister Comrade Nyal Deng, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency, the representative of the Republic of Turkey, the Deputy Undersecretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Dr. Teshebe, the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Ethiopia to Turkey, the members of the diplomatic corps, the ambassadors accredited to the Republic, and all the charge, my friends from business community, research institutions, universities, and other distinguished guests that are here tonight. It is with great pleasure, I must say, that within a short notice you were able all to accept our invitation for the opening of our embassy in Ankara. It also gives us pleasure to accept the idea that being a new person, there's always a sympathy towards you by so many people, but equally it's just true that a lot of expectations are always associated with it. When the decision was taken by our leadership to open our embassy in Ankara, one of only 22 missions and embassies throughout the world, our Minister of Foreign Affairs took personal interest in seeing to it that our beginning has to be humble. We have, as a new country, a lot of internal challenges to build the country anew, but equally we knew that the world outside there stood with us for so many years, and therefore we must interact with the international community. And most of you, if not all of you, I must say, stood with us in the most difficult times. Our minister is here in Ankara to spend time with his colleagues in the government, particularly with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, to continue and cement our relationship with Turkey. Like many countries here, I must say, about 200 years ago, we came into contact with Turkey under different names. And for us to be in Ankara, after 200 years, it gives us the opportunity to look back in time and try to appreciate how far our people have come. It is therefore unique for us this day that we receive our Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations, Cooperation, in Ankara as the first senior leader of our country to visit this place. So for you to honor us, this is very important. I must also add that for all of you who are accredited here, especially the head of missions and the church, we will work together, and we promise you to do that, in a manner that will enhance the existing relationship between us, but most importantly, learn from you as a young country in almost everything, and whatever little we have, we will have to share with you. We thought it was proper that while he is in town, it would be good for you to have a chance with us together in the mission to interact with him and also have an opportunity to understand, especially the latest development between us and our brothers in Sudan, where we have signed 9 agreements, ratified by our 2 parliaments, literally sealing the idea that Sudan is one country. We now have got two countries, Sudans if you like it, but most importantly, we anticipate it to be a very peaceful neighborhood, and this is our anticipation. My minister, for almost 20 years, almost 27 years now, dedicated all his life to lead this peace process, and it's very good to look back and realize that we have achieved so far a peace that we need to sustain. I would like to thank you once again for coming and enjoy the evening with us, so that next time when I and my colleagues in the embassy visit you, at least you will know our faces, and that we have a new addition in the international community. We are country number 193, third of the United Nations. I would like to thank you and have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Ambassador. With this official welcome, I would like also to take this opportunity to welcome His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Maluta, the Dean of African Groups, to give some few remarks in this important function. You're most welcome, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of South Sudan, Excellency Ms. Birhun, Deputy Under Secretary of the Republic of Turkey in the Foreign Ministry, Excellencies, colleagues, and dear brothers, ambassadors from Africa and all other countries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It indeed is an honor and a very great pleasure for me to represent our African group, to extend our congratulations to our brothers from the Republic of South Sudan on the occasion of the opening of the embassy in the Republic of Turkey. It is a very important time for African and Turkey relationship, in that the people-to-people interaction between the people of Turkey and Africa, especially the very aggressively, I could say, engagement of the Turkish business community, which really is engineering the relationship between the two sides, that is Africa and Turkey. Of course, the political engagement of the Republic of Turkey towards Africa might have been formulated in the year 2005, when Turkey declared the Year of Africa, 2005. Since then, it really was not something which was simply on the paper, but with very solid activities between the two sides. And the business community always was there to consolidate and materialize the aspirations of the government of Turkey, the people of Turkey, and the of Africa. The Turkey-Africa Forum, which took place in 2008, was the first of its kind in having so many African dignitaries, heads of states and governments. And that was I could say, a public declaration over the interest of both sides to enhance their bilateral relations between Africa and Turkey. Taking the special interest of the Republic of Turkey towards our continent, and particularly towards the Eastern African region. Again, it is what we have seen by the involvement of Turkey in Somalia, by the visit of His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Turkey, to Mogadishu, when Somalia was in a very severe crisis and difficulty. That really gave a go-ahead and psychological boost to Africans and to the international community at large to pay special interest to solving the problem in Somalia. Now, Somalia is on the right direction, we hope. And the problems which existed between the north and south of Sudan, as our ambassador John eloquently stated, is that even though it is now the North Sudan and South Sudan, but the spirit of friendship, the spirit of coexistence, and the will to live together in peace and harmony is the wish of our people in the whole region. And Excellency, the Foreign Minister, we are really glad to have you among us so that you can give us full information of the state of affairs in our region, and particularly to the youngest republic in our continent. I once again congratulate the Republic of South Sudan for joining us here in Ankara, the youngest republic in our continent. I once again congratulate the Republic of South Sudan for joining us here in Ankara, to having this embassy in Ankara, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellencies, before I could proceed with the rest of the program, I would like to take this opportunity once more also to thank all of you, the head of missions accredited to Ankara, for all the support that you gave us during our establishment period until we reached this stage. And more importantly, His Excellency, the previous speaker, and our neighbor, Her Excellency, Madam Santos, is here for welcoming us and helping us throughout our establishment period. Today, we are more than happy to be represented, not other than anybody else, but a person who is directly in charge of our region, of our continent, and a person who we deal with, and that's Her Excellency, Ambassador Madam Gajaak. You are welcome to give your remarks.
Excellency, Ambassador, dear colleagues, honorable guests, today is an important day in the relations between South Sudan and Turkey. This is the first time that we have the great honor to receive His Excellency, Mr. Nial, to Turkey. This is the first official visit made by South Sudan to Turkey. And tomorrow we will have official talks in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs which will permit us to strengthen our relations and our dialogue between the two countries. Today, there was a day also of the inauguration of the new embassy of South Sudan in Ankara. And we were very happy to see this inauguration. I was there during the ceremony. And as I said there, the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Ankara and myself, we are very happy to see every day, every month, our African family, diplomatic family, growing in Ankara. This shows that something has changed positively in our dialogue, cooperation and relations between African countries and all the continent. The opening up policy began by Turkey in 1998. Has given, I think, excellent results if we consider the last 10 years and more than that. Now Turkey has 31 embassies in Africa, and we expect that this number will be increased to 34 at the end of this year, and some more 5 embassies next year in 2013. And at the same time, we hope and we expect that we will have the same number of African countries' embassies in Ankara. This is an important indication for us. The 2013 will be also the year of the second summit between Turkey and Africa. So we are very happy to observe this, I think, positive development in our relations between with each African country and all the continent. Turkey was among the first countries recognizing the youngest states joining the international community, South Sudan. And we were also among the first countries to open an embassy in Juba. And I was in the 9th of July in Juba 2 years ago. And we are very proud to see how with solid, robust steps South Sudan is joining the international community and assuming the role of one of the important, I think, actor in the African region, and particularly in the Horn of Africa, contributing to the development, peace and security in this region. And I would like to underline that as the traditional brother of the Sudan and the new friend and the new brother of the South Sudan, we were very happy by the signature of 9 agreements between the two countries. And we hope that the people on the two sides of the border will continue in the same direction. It is very important for people living in the same geography to continue to strengthen their dialogue and their cooperation. And as Turkey, we are ready to contribute in every effort and in every field all this development towards more prosperity in this region, and good relations and good friendship and good understanding and friendship between the two Sudan. Excellency, we are very happy and proud to have you in Turkey. South Sudan is Turkey's friend and brother, as I said, and you can consider that you are in your home in Ankara. And I can give you the promise that we will work very closely with your new embassy in Ankara to increase our relations and particularly our cooperation with your country. Welcome again, and once again I would like to congratulate Your Excellency and all my colleagues from South Sudan for the inauguration of your new embassy. I would like to transmit the best wishes of my minister at this occasion, and I thank you all.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like also to announce that in this function, it's not only the minister who joined us from South Sudan. We have 5 members of our communities. We have Dr. Wani here with his boys and one of our sisters. Then we have also our brother, His Excellency, Ambassador Ahmed, the Ambassador of Turkey to the Republic of South Sudan is with us here today. We are very glad to have them on board with his wife as well. With this, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome His Excellency Nial Deng Nial, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of South Sudan. For those who might have not knew him before, Nial Deng Nial is a leading member of Sudan People's Liberation Movement Army. He served in various capacities in the movement as we continue our struggles by then. And after being negotiated, he was actually the chief negotiator of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, which culminated to the Republic of South Sudan through the exercise of referendum. He served as the Minister of Regional Cooperations and a Minister of SPL Affairs, which is actually our defense. And as of today, he is the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Your Excellency, you're most welcome, Representative.
Excellency, Deputy Undersecretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Turkey, ambassadors accredited to Turkey, members of the diplomatic corps, members of the business community, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor for me to have been afforded this opportunity to interact with you this evening. And I'll try as much as possible to keep my remarks brief, so that it does not become a monologue, so that we can actually interact. Some of you might wish to make queries that I'll be more than willing to answer. And so my remarks will be brief. The Republic of South Sudan, ladies and gentlemen, has come a long way for those of you who have been following development. We always, on such occasions, do not forget to express our gratitude for the reception that has been accorded to the newborn state of the Republic of South Sudan by members of the international community, and the support that we continue to receive. As a matter of fact, while we do that, we are still very excited about our newfound status. It is because our journey to where we are today has been an incredible one. It has been a journey characterized by suffering, by death, by destruction. And so, our independence today is a major triumph for us. But more importantly, I think it was the triumph of reason, of peace, over war and devastation. We had to struggle against all odds to achieve our independence. The charter of our organization, the African Union, basically prohibits any alteration to boundaries inherited from colonialism. But in our case, an exception was made. The exception was made because it was felt that the exception was justified. Because at the end of the day, the choices were either to have a people locked in perpetual debilitating warfare, or to allow them to part ways and live as neighbors in peace. This was what eventually was decided, and this is what led to the independence of the Republic of South Sudan through the process of referendum that was mutually agreed as part of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement of 2005. Speaking of the Comprehensive Agreement of 2005, it has not been easy. We have scored solid achievements. A lot of people had not believed that it would be possible for the referendum to take place. They did not think that it would be possible for the elections, which took place prior to the referendum, to occur in the Republic of Sudan. But we persevered, and eventually we had elections, the referendum was held, and the independence of the Republic of South Sudan was proclaimed. I think these achievements owe a lot to our perseverance and to our resilience, because it has never been easy. The negotiations have been tough, have been protracted, have been torturous, but we have decided to stay the course until we achieved our objective. Even as we became independent, there were issues that were left unresolved. And to this day, we still grapple with those issues. They are not easy, but we have not given up hope. The Republic of South Sudan, the government of the Republic of South Sudan, is committed to peaceful resolution of all conflicts. This is the spirit that has been guiding our negotiations with the Republic of Sudan. You have been following during the last rounds of negotiations that resulted in a number of agreements being signed. Major compromises were made by the Republic of South Sudan that led to those agreements being signed. When we speak about post-conflict reconstruction in the Republic of South Sudan, we say it is a misnomer to speak about reconstruction, because in South Sudan there is hardly anything that is there to be reconstructed. We are starting basically from scratch. But despite this, despite the huge needs of the people of South Sudan, who do not have infrastructure, who lack access to basic health services, inadequate primary education services, inadequate health, water facilities, we have decided that for the sake of peace and for the sake of peaceful coexistence with our neighbor to the north, we would make concessions. And we did make significant concessions in the form of an agreement to provide the Republic of Sudan with more than $3.2 billion over 3 years to compensate the Republic of Sudan for what has been lost through the independence of the South. As you know, South Sudan has the bulk of the oil that used to be exported by the Republic of Sudan. The infrastructure for the export of the oil and for the processing of the crude oil is located in what is now the Republic of Sudan. And so we agreed that we will continue to use these facilities, and that we would actually compensate the Republic of Sudan for any losses. As a matter of fact, we believe that the benefits that the Republic of Sudan stands to gain from continued cooperation and close economic integration of the Republic of South Sudan far outweigh the $3.5 billion that we are providing. But as the saying goes, it takes two to tango. We are hoping that the Republic of Sudan will, at the end of the day, realize that the short-term gains that it is seeking are not worth the long-term gains that it will be sacrificing. What we always say in the Republic of South Sudan is that we have been associated for so long as one people that we should actually be looking at the long-term interests of the people of the two states rather than the short-term and transient interests of the governments. That is our problem, because we are still not on the same wavelength in terms of the way we perceive the relationship between the two states. But we are going to stay the course, and many more concessions have been made, and we are still ready to make more concessions for the sake of peace and for the sake of normalcy. Because we in South Sudan say that we have had enough of conflict, and it is time to settle down, to have a sense of stability, to create the kind of conditions in which peace and development can flourish. That is our single most important overriding consideration when we sit down at the table of negotiations with the Republic of Sudan to negotiate. A few days ago, as you may be aware, we were scheduled to reopen the oil taps. That was to be precisely on the 15th. Unfortunately, we could not do it. At the last moment, there was a hitch at the 11th hour. The Republic of Sudan said that there were certain security arrangements that needed to be put in place before production of oil resumes. The security arrangements they have in mind basically relate to the situation inside the Republic of South Sudan itself. The Republic of Sudan itself. There are two areas that are neighboring, they're on the border between the two countries, Southern Kordofan and Blue Nile. that have had problems that have not yet been attended to. And through the African Union Roadmap, which was endorsed by the United Nations Security Council and adopted in the form of Resolution 2046, established a separate forum and a mechanism to deal with those problems. Unfortunately, the Republic of Sudan felt that these problems had to be dragged into the oil issue. It is clear that there is no relationship between the two issues. Here we are talking about oil, we are talking about security there, we are talking about arrangements between two states, the Republic of South Sudan and the Republic of Sudan, with respect to the resumption of oil production. That is one issue that is separate and distinct from the issue of internal conflict within the borders of the Republic of Sudan. We have been made to believe that unless arrangements are put in place to neutralize the armed opposition forces inside the Republic of Sudan, then these forces are likely to disrupt oil operations. But as a matter of fact, throughout all these years of conflict, the oil flow has never been significantly or seriously disrupted by the fighting. But if security is a major concern, that perhaps there are other ways in which the two states can address this problem without actually dragging into the agenda issues that are totally extraneous to what is being discussed. So we attach a lot of importance to peace and stability because that is the condition that is indispensable to the developmental process. You cannot undertake any meaningful development in the midst of war and conflict. And as a matter of fact, war and conflict has set back Sudan a very long time. See, Sudan, before independence, is a country that always had huge potential. It was the continent's largest country, spanning an area more than 2.5 million square kilometers. It is endowed with a variety of resources, vast agricultural potential, oil and minerals. But all this potential has never been realized because of conflict. It was not till 2005 that a real process of development set in. So we are aware of the fruits and the benefits of peace, and that's why we'll always continue to attach a lot of importance to it. And so in our engagement with the Republic of Sudan, in our dealings with the Republic of Sudan, we will always keep that issue of peace and stability as the most important consideration, and we hope that they will also do the same, because we want to undertake development. We are lagging far behind the rest of the world. Yes, there is very little in South Sudan at the moment, but in terms of potential, there is decent potential in the Republic of South Sudan. We want to unlock this potential. We cannot do it on our own. We'll be relying on inputs in the development process from the international community, both from states and governments, in terms of building the capacity of the people of the Republic of South Sudan to enable them carry on the tasks of development that they need to address. We'll also rely on inputs from the private sector within the international community to come to South Sudan, invest for mutual benefit. This is what we are looking at, and we have promulgated an investment code. Our doors are open. We are working very hard to normalize relations with the Republic of Sudan. We are working very hard to normalize the situation internally in our country, which is also an offshoot of the problems between us and the Republic of Sudan. But also at the same time, we are putting down the requisite regulatory framework for the development process to proceed. And I am certain that some of you who have paid a visit to Juba or to other parts of South Sudan have noticed what has been achieved over the small amount of time that has passed between 2005 and now, despite the fact that the resources that we were getting from the central government before independence do not necessarily reflect what should be South Sudan's entitlement from its oil, but those resources have been used in such a manner as to put down a semblance of infrastructure. Now, for instance, in Juba, there is tarmac road. I mean, tarmac road is something that the people of South Sudan have never known all their lives. I mean, there are generations that have gone, that have never in their lifetime seen a tarmac road. And these are some of the problems that led to war in the first place at the beginning of the 60s. Because we knew that we had inherited discrepancies from colonial rule. You know, colonial rule was basically designed to serve the interests of the colonizer, and the interest of the colonizer in Sudan at the time was confined to extracting cotton, because that was the middle of the industrial revolution. Cotton was all the rage. It was not oil as the case is now. And so cotton used to be grown in certain parts of our country, and as a result, those parts of the country are the ones that got the benefits of social services, the benefit of education, the benefit of health. And so when colonialism ended, the people who happened to live around those areas received the instruments of power from the Republic colonial authorities. Now, that was not the problem. The problem was that once having received the instruments of power, the rulers of independent Sudan should have now sat down and rectified the legacy of colonial rule, which led to serious discrepancies between the few urban centers and the countryside. Even the problems that are still raging today in the Republic of Sudan have the same root cause. It is simply underdevelopment and economic marginalization, which is something that can be corrected and should have been corrected. So if you go to South Sudan today, although we would have liked to achieve a lot more than what we have achieved, but you will find that the will and the desire to run the services is manifested. The government is determined, it's aware that there's a lot of catching up that we need to do as the Republic of South Sudan, but we are willing and determined to do it. And would like to invite those who would like to partner with us in this quest to join us. In this particular case, I would like to take the opportunity to register again our profound gratitude to the government of Turkey for having co-sponsored the conference, the donor conference on South Sudan, that is designed to solicit international or external inputs to help the Republic of South Sudan stand on its own feet economically and socially, and be able to realize its full potential. So our doors still remain open. We invite you to come in. We invite you as international community also to assist us resolve political problems, differences between ourselves and the Republic of Sudan. Because at the end of the day, you need to have normalcy in terms of the relationship between the Republic of South Sudan and all its neighbors, the Republic of Sudan included, as well as internal normalcy. We are trying to address the internal situation in the Republic of South Sudan to the best of our ability. But when it comes to our relations with the Republic of South Sudan, I think your help, your assistance is needed. We cannot afford to continue marking time. We have to make progress. We have to make progress. The number of issues that are still outstanding, which are essentially territorial in nature, have to be overcome. The issue of oil, in our opinion, should not be linked to issues that are not related to oil, you see, because both countries stand to benefit from the oil. As a matter of fact, when the oil of the Republic of South Sudan starts flowing through the Republic of Sudan, for every barrel that we are going to export, Sudan will be getting $18, which is not an insignificant amount of money if you add it up. I don't know whether anybody can tell me that that is not something that is really worth seriously looking into. Our economy at the present time is almost wholly dependent on oil. We are trying our level best to diversify, but it will also take time. In order to diversify, you need resources. So we need the very resources from oil to be able to diversify away from dependence on oil. So the resumption of oil flow, in our opinion, is a win-win situation. And therefore, we would like you to also persuade the Republic of Sudan to realize that it will be important to achieve progress in certain areas in order to generate momentum to realize progress in other areas. Some of the outstanding issues that relate to territory are very complex, and they might take a while before they can be resolved. The question of Abyei, in our opinion, we are actually on the verge of resolving that question, because the African Union Peace and Security Council, in its last meeting, passed a resolution to the effect that if the parties within 6 weeks are not able to find a mutually acceptable solution on the question of Abyei, then the proposal that had been tabled by the African Union High Implementation Panel under the chairmanship of former South African President Thabo Mbeki would be adopted automatically. And around the 9th or the 10th of December, that is what we expect. And I believe that the international community should rally behind that, because that proposal is in keeping with the African Union roadmap and in keeping with the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2046. It's very, very important for the international community to summon the will and the courage to back its own decisions, because if it doesn't, then we have a problem, because the United Nations Security Council is the last resort. If you fail through the United Nations Security Council, then basically peaceful avenues of resolving conflicts and disputes are exhausted. You see, and so we would like to urge your governments to rally behind the proposal of the AUHIP on the resolution of the Abyei conflict. It basically calls for a referendum to be held in 2013 to determine the status of Abyei. Another process also which is ongoing, which is not making much progress and which is important, is the issue of a number of disputed areas. And we believe that the African Union High Implementation Panel needs to be commended for the decision that they took, which is to set up a panel of African experts that will look into the status of those disputed areas, and then they will render a report. Their findings are not binding, but they will help the parties move forward. Our position initially has been that since we have discussed these issues for quite a while, maybe we should move to the next step and engage a different process. Let's go for international arbitration. But we were told that it is premature to jump to international arbitration as a method for resolving this dispute. And we accepted that argument. But now there is an intermediate process that has been engaged. We now have a panel of experts. And as most of you know, expert determination is one of the methods for peaceful resolution of disputes. But once that process is exhausted, then naturally the only alternative, the only option that will be left will be to go to international arbitration. These issues, in our opinion, are very, very important to resolve, because our ambition, our aspiration as South Sudan is not just to have normal relations with the Republic of South Sudan. We don't want to have just normal relations with our neighbors. You see, because we stand to benefit a lot from closer integration. Our relation with the Republic of Sudan should be something special. But for us to reach that status, for us to get to that level, you need to resolve all outstanding issues. But pending the resolution of outstanding issues, it will be important to take whatever achievement, whatever success you get and build on it. And that's why we think that the agreement on oil, which was hailed by all the world, I think was a major success to be built upon. Last but not least, the agreement on oil, as a matter of fact, I think it's not the reason we had a breakthrough on the question of oil. Was simply because oil is not just a bilateral issue between Sudan and South Sudan. Oil is a strategic global commodity. And when oil stops somewhere, then something else happens. Other people are impacted, you see. And so the Republic of South Sudan and the Republic of Sudan came under tremendous pressure to agree to that deal. And that is why we accepted, basically, that we would part with $3.5 billion of our own money in order to have a deal. It's a win-win situation for everybody. The Republic of South Sudan produced 350,000 barrels of oil. If oil had not stopped, by the end of this year, we'll be pumping close to 600,000 and rising. That is not insignificant given the growing demands of the global economy for oil. Our oil provides 5% of China's oil requirements. So if it stops, that 5% will have to be sourced by China from somewhere else, and that can drive up oil prices. So we are not oblivious to the complications associated with oil, and therefore it is up to the rest of the members of the international community to ensure that that both sides accept a deal which is reasonable, and not to link it with issues that are not relevant to the question of oil. Because we strongly believe that once we start implementing the agreements that we have signed about 13 agreements, 9 agreements, once we start implementing any of these agreements, it will generate a positive momentum for resolution of differences in other areas. And that's precisely the way to go. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I really feel extremely grateful for your presence this evening. You have come in quite decent numbers at such short notice. So we are glad to have this opportunity to interact with you. It also, I think, underlines what we said earlier about the huge amount of goodwill in the international community that has been expressed towards the Republic of South Sudan. And I would like to take this opportunity to assure you that we will not disappoint you, we will not fail you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and Madam Deputy Under Secretary, Excellencies, the ambassadors, members of the private sector, colleagues from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. With this, we have come to the end of talking, but the function is still continuing. And for us to start the next phase is our team of a small cake that needs to be cut by Her Excellency and the Minister, the Dean as well. And he will propose toast as well. And we continue with our... Thank you.
Bakalım biraz döner misin? Ver.
It's been a long time, yeah? Find the ambassador residence and also the ambassador and consular. But we managed it here.
Oh, yeah.